time to take a coffee break now, and we're starting with why e-scooters might be the most dangerous rides on the road.
Well, I have been saying I went out to Santa Monica yesterday. Can people learn how to use these before they actually get on them?
There's no
You don't have to.
I apparently don't.
You
Well,
just go.
researchers are yet again sounding the alarm about the dangers of e-scooters after a new study found that people who ride them are almost twice as likely to be killed than motorcyclists. So it is a real danger. The analysis found that 9% of e-scooter accidents are deadly compared 9% compared with 5% of motorcycle accidents. And even when the accidents weren't deadly, doctors noted that patients who had crashed on a scooter often sustained severe brain injuries. A big reason behind the increased danger is that people on scooters are more likely to ride without a helmet because you just go grab them. But also, they could be under the influence. The findings are based on an analysis of more than 5,000 patients who got into bike, motorcycle, and e-scooter accidents in just the last 4 years.
Wow. They are fun to ride.
They are very fun.
And it is like a convenient thing if you like need a ride or you can't get an Uber or there's traffic or something. But
they're expensive though too. They're like 50 cents sometimes a minute.
It's true that you're not taking a helmet along with you generally. So
And I just feel like they're zipping around everywhere. I've almost hit one or two or a lot in San Diego because they're all over the place in Pacific Beach. They're everywhere, and I feel like they just come up and you try to brake fast enough, but
and you
it
can't
is
go
really
slow.
dangerous.
If you're on one, I'll just go slow. Nobody ever says that.
and there's no real place for them.
Right.
No.
Like they're not pedestrians, they're not cars,
No.
they're not bikes. So it's like
Tomorrow I'll have my rant on e-bikes.
Stay tuned in the 9 o'clock hour.
Looking forward to that.
A different traffic-related study is highlighting the benefits of living in a more walkable neighborhood, and that's not just because you're less likely to get into an accident in that environment. Researchers at the University of San Diego found that one of the solutions to the current loneliness epidemic we're facing right now is to live in a place where everything is within walking distance. You meet people when you walk. Study found that these neighborhoods promote socialization and physical activity since it's rarely necessary to actually get in the car and drive somewhere nearby. You just walk instead. The downside to this study is that most Americans' realities are far from a neighborhood like this, but researchers hope this evidence starts to prompt change little by little. Apparently I need to walk more.
You know, I think when you're stuck in traffic, it's like the opposite. Like you just hate everyone. Like you fight with each other, you hate everyone. If you're walking, you say hello, maybe you.
That's true, you're more polite.
Maybe you stop, you talk,
Yeah,
catch
exactly.
your breath.
Yeah, I think you can do that, definitely. I do find here in Los Angeles, you almost have to force even if the neighborhood is walkable, I'll have friends, I'll be like, hey, I'll meet you at the restaurant. And they're like, we're gonna Uber. And I'm like, but it's like 4 blocks down the road. Can we just walk?
I feel like a conversation starter is your dog, because every time I go, or my husband's on the phone, every time he's walking the dog, it's like, oh my gosh, let me, and then he has a whole conversation with whoever it is. So get yourself a dog for a conversation
Got your
starter.
friends and you have your dog friends.
Yeah,
which are
there you
usually
go.
10 times as many as your
And you never know the owner's
You know,
name.
when I go to the
only
park,
know the dog's
exactly.
name.
All the people know the dogs' names, but none of the owners'
I
names.
actually witnessed this like a week ago when we had lunch and you knew the dog, but I'm like, what's his name? You're like, I don't know.
It's true. You never know the parent's name, ever.
Well, no matter how hard you try, you're probably throwing a couple of items in your recycling bin that don't actually belong there.
Okay.
Guilty. But thanks to new artificial intelligence, you may now not have to worry about getting it perfect anymore.
I love that you're finding the AI stories that
the
work.
positive ones.
Yeah.
A startup company called Gray Parrot has developed a new system to analyze what passes through recycling facilities. In the past year, that technology has started learning how to recognize trash that can't be recycled. The goal of the AI isn't just to help sort waste at the facilities, but also to help companies understand which items and materials can actually be repurposed so they can then change their processes to be more eco-friendly. The systems are running at all times of the day and are currently tracking an average of 32 billion objects a year.
Wow.
I actually chose this story because I'm from Oregon, where they take recycling very seriously.
Yes, they do.
And you get, not only do you get fined if you throw the wrong things in, they always catch you. They always find if there's like something that doesn't belong in the recycling, and then you have to take a quiz and pass the quiz. You have to take a test before they'll resume services, which is actually pretty brilliant. Because then you learn what you can't throw away. But
well, I've done stories on recycling before here in Los Angeles, and they talk about just the manpower, the hours that go into having to go back
Yeah.
through and sort it out that, we just don't think. We toss it in, and
Yeah.
it's a real problem.
And it's hard to know sometimes.
Yeah.
It is really.
Oregon likes keeping their population down. That's one way to do it. Make it so hard to recycle. I'll just stay in California.
Exactly.
Well, here's another AI story. You know how we can sample different flavors of ice cream when, you want to taste a little
Sure.
something
Yeah.
and then you decide later on what you want? Well, you might be able to do that with all food in the future without people having to cook it.
Wait, what?
So a new report from food delivery brand found that technology could possibly make it possible for us to try food through virtual reality. So this sort of AI could also trick people into eating vegetables while making them think they're eating chocolate or sweets.
Because they're so close.
Very odd.
Another way tech could change the way we eat is researchers say we could be breathing into smartphones to figure out the diet that's best for our body.
I'd be all on board with this.
Right? And
Says I need chocolate.
And they expect all of this to be possible by 2040. I just thought this was really interesting. I don't know how it would work or if it really would be helpful, but people need their vegetables, or maybe a diet plan that works for you.
Yeah,
Don't
or
realize what your
like
body needs.
food sensitivity testing.
Exactly.
It'd be much easier if you could just breathe into your cell phone and know what to
It
eat.
would be rude, Let me
Yes.
tell you, after getting 100 pricks on my back, not that long
exactly.
ago, it'd be great to just blow into the phone.
Yeah.
And no, I'm now allergic to bell peppers.
What?
Yes.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
It's terrible, but I'm glad I now know.
Yeah.
That's true.
And knowledge is power.
It is. That's today's coffee break.
Kcal News on Kcal and CBS Los Angeles. More local news.
CBS News Los Angeles, your local news, streaming wherever, whenever.